Hello, welcome to Guitar Trek. I am Richard J. Dowling, and today I'm going to show you the idea I've had for the song this week, and also I'm going to tell you the secret. No, I'm not going to tell you the secret. I'm going to tell you there is no secret to songwriting. So that's today's idea, and it's very simple. It's C major, G major, and D major, and you can think. I mean, you can think of this as well. The chords G major, C major, D major are all in the key of G major. So G is the 1 chord, C is the 4 chord, and D is the 5th chord. And here's the non-secret to songwriting. If you want to write a song, you just need to play some chords and sing over the top, and try and see what works. There are a lot of videos on songwriting, and they're all giving out secrets along the lines of use the mixolydian scale, do this, do that. Very few of them actually are by people who seem to have written any songs, or at least songs that I like. The truth is, you don't need to know a lot of music theory to write a song. Obviously, I'm in favour of learning. You know, whatever your stage is, you should try to learn more, and I'm always trying to learn more about music. But you don't need to know everything to start songwriting. I think paperback writer is 2 chords, G and C, or G7 and C7, but basically 2 chords. A lot of the Velvet Underground songs are 2 songs. You know, rock and roll was really based around 3 chords. Punk rock, it's good to have music knowledge of music theory to be able to make it easier to work with the ideas, and maybe to broaden the arrangements. But for songwriting, you can just play some chords that sound good and then try and think of a melody over the top of it. That's all you have to do. Anything more, really, I think, is making it not fun. And if it's not fun, you're not gonna come up with things. At least it's not going to be fun to do it. I mean, every time I sit down with a guitar, I just play some chords, and maybe there's something going on in the back of my mind, but it's certainly not anything to do with like, oh, I've got to use the mixolydian scale today, so I'm going to use these chords. I just play around. I really can't emphasize that enough. Just play around, find something that you like and that calls you to work more on it. So I was explaining, G major, C major, D major are the key of G major. But if you start, instead of starting, typically if you have a key, you would start off in the tonic of that key, which is, if G major, you start off on the G major chord. So G major, C major, G major, D major, and that's a quite run-of-the-mill chord progression, which doesn't mean to say that you can't write a good song with it. But I wanted to, today I was in the mood for just sort of not doing that. If you start on the C major chord, then go to the G, it sort of sounds like, to the ear, maybe you're in the key of C, because C major, G would be the 5th if you're in C major. But then when you go to D major, then suddenly it's changed the feeling, and you're in the key of G major, but what we're doing is, I guess, is the mixolydian, what I mentioned early on. But I didn't do it thinking, oh, I'm going to do a mixolydian. I was just playing around these chords, and instead of going to F major, keeping it within the C, I went to the D. And this is a very run-of-the-mill chord progression as well. It's used in a ton of pop songs and rock songs. But it always sounds, I don't know, there's a sort of pleasant inevitability about it that I often come back to that style of chord progression. But so the non-secret to songwriting is you sing something over the top and see what happens. So I started off singing, which is a G note, and you can keep the G playing over the G major chord. So I'm not changing the note. Now if you continue the G but you sing it over the D, it sounds a bit strange, because G is the fourth of the G major, but G major means you're playing the third in D major, and the third and fourth together create a sort of slight dissonance. So you can feel there that it doesn't really want to stay there. It doesn't feel right. It wants to move to a different note. So was what I came up with, and that would be, which is A, which would be the fifth of D. But again, when I'm saying I'm calling this the fifth, and all of that I'm doing now as a way of explaining my choices. But when I was composing, it was just, oh, that sounds nice. I'll stick with that. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. So that's a sort of call and response melody where la 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 la. So the second phrase responds to the first phrase, and that's called call and response. You'll hear that a lot in guitar riffs, in bass lines, in melodies. It's sort of it's something that feels very logical musically, but also emotionally. So that's where I've got the song at the moment. It's just those three chords. Na 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 na. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. So from there, I don't have anything else. I could go. Yeah, A minor is in the key. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it wants. So that's it. That sounds nice to me. That's an F major. So F major, G major, D major. And F isn't in the key of G major or in the mixolydian mode of D, but I guess you could say I've borrowed it from the D minor scale. I won't get too much into that, to be honest. It sounded good. That sounds good. I don't know if that doesn't really sound like a chorus though. It may be a pre-chorus building up to a chorus, or maybe I could use it as a bridge between choruses. But I like the sort of feel of this, so I'm going to work on this and hope. Well, as always, I will have the song finished for the next video. And I would like to reiterate that you should be not worrying too much about music theory. And if you want to write songs, go ahead and write songs. If you only know 2 chords, then write songs using 2 chords. Don't feel that a song is bad because it only uses 1 chord or 2 chords. Songs can be good or bad, or they will be good or bad depending on the freshness of the melody, the emotion you create. Musical theory, I think, is for helping you maybe find easier transitions between verses and chorus, or giving you ideas, but you shouldn't be following it slavishly as a recipe for writing a song. Anyway, hope this helps. I hope it's of interest. I think this song, I don't know, I haven't really got any ideas for lyrics, because I haven't got the chorus, or whether indeed I'll need a chorus. So it's perhaps the most unfinished of the ideas I've presented, and I hope I will be able to finish it off. But having the pressure of uploading a finished song every week has made me quite conscientious in finishing songs, and I don't worry too much about having ideas. I always seem to have ideas. I think mainly because I have the attitude of just trying different things without putting too much pressure on myself for it to be good or bad, and just trying 2 or 3 different ideas, selecting the best, and then going with that. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope this encourages you to try your hand at songwriting, and let me know what you think in the comments. Bye bye.